There is a specific kind of exhaustion. It is a heaviness that settles into the marrow of your bones. It does not arrive from failure. It does not come because you were lazy. It arrives from the relentless, unending effort of trying to fix yourself. For years, you have treated your own soul like a renovation project. You wake up every morning with a clipboard and a hard hat. You walk through the corridors of your own mind. You look for the cracks in the drywall. You look for the leaks in the emotional plumbing. You identify the flaws. You categorize the trauma. You have read the books with the pastel covers that promise freedom. You have highlighted the paragraphs that explain why you are the way you are. You have gone to the therapy sessions. You have sat on the couch and dissected your childhood until the memories felt like worn-out fabric. You have endlessly analyzed your own patterns. You track your moods. You journal your triggers. You are operating under a single crushing assumption. You believe that if you just work hard enough on healing, if you just optimize your routine enough, if you just process enough trauma, you will eventually arrive at a destination. A version of yourself that is finished, polished, waterproof, and acceptable. You are chasing an after photo. You are waiting for the day when the work is done. But then a day comes. It often happens in the quiet. Maybe you are driving home in the dark. Maybe you are staring at a ceiling fan at 3 a.m. and you realize you are simply too tired. You are too tired to keep fighting the war against who you currently are. This is the emotional landscape where Adele found herself. It was the aftermath of the divorce. It was the wreckage of the life she thought she was building. The frenetic energy of the crisis began to fade, and she was left with the silence. It was not a moment of triumphant victory. The sun did not break through the clouds to bathe her in light. She did not suddenly love every jagged part of herself. It was something much quieter. It was a heavy, grounding realization. The chaos inside her was not going anywhere. The anxiety was not a tenant she could evict, and trying to beat it into submission was only making the wounds deeper. This realization is the bedrock of the song Hold On. It is the sound of dropping the weapons. We live in a culture that is pathologically obsessed with transformation. We are addicted to the narrative of the turnaround. We love stories about people who were broken and became whole, people who were lost and found themselves. We consume these stories like sugar. We scroll through social media feeds filled with before and afters. Before, depressed, messy, lonely. After, glowing, organized, partnered. Because of this, we have made a dangerous error. We have mistaken the process of healing for a process of erasure. We think healing means erasing the parts of us that are difficult. We want to surgically remove the insecurity. We want to cut out the jealousy. We want to laser away the fear. We think that being an emotionally mature adult means being sterile. It means never having another childish thought. It means never having another irrational reaction. It means never wanting to collapse on the kitchen floor because the coffee spilled. Adele's journey through the 30 era reflects a painful understanding. This sterilized version of adulthood is a myth. It is a fairy tale we tell ourselves to keep the terror at bay. You do not heal so that you never feel pain again. You do not heal so that you become bulletproof. You heal so that when the pain comes, and it will come, it does not completely dismantle you. The shift that happens is not that you become a new person. It is that you stop hating the person you have always been. You realize that the messy parts, the shadow sides, the voices of doubt that whisper you are not enough, they are doomed to live with you forever. They are your roommates. The question changes. It shifts from the aggressive, how do I get rid of this, to the compassionate, how do I live alongside this? This is a terrifying admission. To the high achiever, this sounds like failure. To the perfectionist, this feels like death. When you have spent your entire adult life fueled by the anxiety of needing to be better, stopping that engine feels like falling. It feels like you are resigning yourself to mediocrity. It feels like you are saying, I guess I will just be broken forever. But there is a massive gulf between resignation and acceptance. They look similar from the outside, but from the inside, they feel completely different. Resignation is passive. Resignation is looking at the storm and lying down in the mud. It is drowning because you are too tired to kick. It is saying, I am powerless. Acceptance is active. Acceptance is defiant. It is treading water. It is looking around at the ocean of your own psyche, realizing it is deep, realizing it is cold, realizing it is vast and dark, and deciding to stay afloat anyway. It is saying, I am here, and I am not going under. The energy of hold on is the energy of the aftermath. It captures that specific hour when the adrenaline of the crisis has faded. The lawyers have gone home. The friends have stopped calling to check in every hour. The distractions have run out. You are left in the quiet room with your own looping thoughts. The thoughts that say, I am destroying everything. The thoughts that say, I am not lovable like this. In that silence, you realize a duality. You are two people at once. You are the wise adult, the one who pays the bills, the one who knows, logically, that feelings are temporary, the one who knows the sun will rise, and you are the terrified child, the one who thinks the world is ending right now, the one who needs comfort, the one who is screaming. For a long time, we tried to silence the child. We used logic like a weapon. We tried to adult our way out of feelings. We scolded ourselves. Stop crying. It's not a big deal. Pull yourself together. You have a meeting in 10 minutes. Why are you still upset about this? We treated our vulnerability like an intruder in our own home. We locked it in the basement and turned up the volume on the TV. But the turning point comes. The hold-on moment arrives. It happens when you stop trying to silence the scared part of yourself. You stop trying to argue with the child. And instead, you just sit with it. You pull up a chair next to your fear. You stop trying to speed up the process. We are so impatient with our own pain. We treat grief like a common cold. We want to take a pill and wake up better tomorrow. But you realize that patience isn't just waiting. Patience is not passive. Patience is the agonizing, muscular work of enduring the present moment. It is staying in your body when you want to leave it. It is feeling the tightness in your chest and not reaching for a distraction. You have to hold on to yourself when you are the hardest person to hold on to. It is easy to hold on to yourself when you are winning. It is easy to love yourself when you are looking good and feeling strong. But you have to be the steady hand on your own shoulder when you are losing, when your mind is screaming at you to run, when you feel shame burning in your stomach. This brings us to the most misunderstood concept in the world, self-love. We have commercialized self-love. We think it looks like a spa day. We think it looks like buying yourself flowers. We think it looks like recitations of I am a goddess in the mirror. It is soft. It is pink. It is fragrant. But real self-love, the kind that actually sustains you in the darkest hours of a divorce, the kind that keeps you alive when the depression hits, it feels nothing like a spa day. It feels like gritty tolerance. It feels like a truce. It is a sweaty, messy, hard-won thing. It is looking in the mirror when you have been crying for 3 hours, when your face is blotchy, when your eyes are swollen shut, when you haven't showered in 2 days, when you feel ugly and ashamed and weak. It is the moment where you have every reason to turn away in disgust. But you decide not to. You look yourself in the eye, and you say, you are a disaster right now. You are a mess. You are in so much pain. And I am not leaving the room. I am staying right here with you. It is the refusal to abandon yourself when you are not performing wellness correctly. It is the refusal to walk out on yourself when things get ugly. This level of acceptance requires a funeral. You have to bury something. You have to grieve the fantasy version of yourself. the version you thought you were supposed to become by this age, the person who never gets triggered, the person who always responds with grace, the person who has perfectly integrated their trauma and floats through life. That person does not exist. That person is a ghost, and chasing that ghost is making you miserable. You have to accept the grayer reality, the Messier reality. You will likely grapple with the same core issues for the rest of your life. Your insecurity about abandonment? It is probably staying. Your tendency to overthink every conversation? It is part of the package. The wounds may close, but the scars remain sensitive to the touch. They will ache when the weather changes. And that has to be okay. Adele's album was a manifesto of this grief. It was the sound of letting the perfect wife die. It was the sound of letting this perfect mother die, so that the real woman could breathe. It is the sound of admitting, I don't have it together, and finding that the world doesn't end when you say those words out loud. When you stop trying to fix yourself, a strange thing happens. The internal noise begins to dial down. It doesn't go silent. The voices are still there, but the volume decreases. The frantic urgency dissipates. When you are no longer constantly prosecuting yourself for your perceived failures, you free up an enormous amount of energy. Think about how much energy you spend trying to hide your flaws. Think about how much energy you spend pretending to be okay. When you stop, that energy comes rushing back. You stop viewing every negative emotion as a problem to be solved. We treat sadness like a malfunction. We treat anxiety like a bug in the code, but they are not malfunctions. They are just information. You start viewing them as weather passing through. You realize you are the sky. You are not the clouds. The clouds are the anger. The clouds are the sadness. The clouds are the fear. Sometimes they are dark and heavy. Sometimes they cover the sun for days. Sometimes it storms so hard you can't see your hand in front of your face. But the clouds are not the sky. The sky is the container. The sky is vast enough to hold the storm without becoming the storm. The sky is never destroyed by the weather. It just holds it. Adele's expression of this in her music was not about offering solutions. The chorus of Hold On is not a strategy. It doesn't tell you the 3 steps to happiness. It is simply a mantra of endurance. It was an offering of solidarity in the confusion. It was an admission that even with all the money in the world, even with the fame, even with the talent, you still end up alone in the dark with your own demons. There is no tax bracket that exempts you from the human condition. There is no level of success that protects you from self-loathing. There is profound comfort in knowing that. It means you aren't doing it wrong. It means the goal isn't to slay the demons. The goal is to figure out how to exist in the same house with them, without letting them burn it down. The path forward from this realization is not exciting. It doesn't have a dramatic narrative arc. It wouldn't make a good movie trailer. It is very quiet. It involves waking up. It involves feeling the familiar weight of your own history, the regrets of the past, the worries of the future, and choosing to go about your day anyway. It is feeling the urge to self-destruct, the urge to send that text, the urge to numb out, and instead choosing to just take a breath, drink a glass of water, and do the next right thing, however small. Maybe the next right thing is just washing a dish. Maybe it's just taking a shower. It is the understanding that holding on is an active verb. It is not a passive state. It takes strength. It takes immense muscular strength to not let go, especially when a current of your own self-loathing is trying to pull you under. It is a daily decision. Sometimes it is an hourly decision. To remain present in a life that feels uncomfortable. It is the refusal to abandon yourself, even when you are the person you most want to get away from. In the song, Adele invites her friends to sing with her. A choir of voices reinforces the message. This is crucial. It reminds us that while the internal work is solitary, the experience is universal. We are all renovating houses that will never be finished. We are all living with ghosts in the hallway. We are all waiting for an after that never comes. You look at other people and think they have it figured out. You think they have the secret code, but they don't. Everyone is just holding on. Everyone is just treading water. Ultimately, the truce you call with yourself is based on a simple knowledge. You are unfixable, but not because you are hopeless. You are unfixable because you are never broken. Broken implies you were once a vase, and now you are shards. It implies you are a static object that has been damaged. But a human being is not a static object. You are a process. You are a river. You are constantly flowing, changing, moving. You are a complex, contradictory, messy constellation of experiences. You are your trauma, yes, but you are also your resilience. You are your mistakes, but you are also your capacity to learn. Stopping the war means laying down your weapons. It means taking off the hard hat. It means putting down the clipboard. It means accepting that this is it. This is who you are. The anxiety, the brilliance, the fear, the capacity for love. It is all one thing. It is all you. And the only way forward is not through the renovation of the soul. It is through the quiet, unglamorous work of existing exactly as you are. Right here, right now. It is the relief of realizing you don't have to become someone else to be happy. You don't have to wait until you are fixed to start living. You can start living now, amidst the mess. You just have to hold on to the person you already are, until the weather changes. And it always changes. The sun always comes back, but until it does, you just hold on.